Hello, and no, that's not it, is it? Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video or stream on the channel. If you are with us live, let us know if you can see and hear us all right. That's the main thing as well. Again, get your comments in as well. Midweek action, Saturday, Tuesday is, it's eventful, it's busy, it's hectic how I like it as well. Lots of videos. I don't feel I've been away from Highbury, been away from doing League One prep, TikToks, YouTube videos. I've got about 8 videos I need to edit. Half of them are members, half the main channel as well. Jake, how are you doing, mate? Welcome back.
Mate, what a night. I am, I'm absolutely shattered, but that's for other reasons. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it wasn't the best midweek for us. And deservedly so, kind of. So yeah, no, looking forward to it, mate. Lots of bizarre results last night. There was I wasn't expecting Leighton Orient to hit 6. I wasn't expecting Stevenage to win at Wrexham. So here we are. But yeah, well, I'm sure there's plenty of match action and probably a little bit of transfer talk to chat about as well while we're here.
Jack Kershaw is with us as well, talking to Skin Fade.
Jake Kershaw, do you mean?
Yeah. Talking of Jack Kershaw, you've got a nice skin fade, haven't you, Jack?
Don't you start calling me Jack?
Yeah. About to by mistake.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Also, Ben, just because Anne Marie is back in the chat.
Everybody's favourite McKay.
Everyone's favourite aunt. I had the notification. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Look, earlier today, Mr. JJ McKeon dropped me a follow on Twitter. So what a legend he is, and another great performance for our lone superstar at Burton Albion by all accounts.
Hello and welcome all to the show as well. It is appreciated. Please like the show while you're doing so as well. It'll be very much appreciated as well. Hello to everyone in the chat. Power Hour tonight here on League One Live. Only one place to start. Watching Leighton Orient putting on a show. That is 6 goals to the 2. At half-time, it was 4-0 written all over it. And then in the second half, Exeter got a draw in the second half. Unfortunately, they conceded 6 and lost the game. And what's that now? 5 defeats on the spin now for Exeter. It's not great, don't get me wrong. Defensive crisis for the Grecians. However, Leighton Orient ran riot. And we said before the game, it could be one of those games where Leighton Orient lost the last 4, Orient 8 wins in the previous 10 before that. That's now 9 wins in their last 11 games, taking it to 29 points from a possible 33. That is more points than anyone currently in the bottom 6 in Sky Bet League One. Azim Abdulhai, is it? Am I right?
He's literally just signed for him, mate. He's literally just coming from Swansea, and he's hit a hat-trick on debut.
Yeah, hat-trick. I'm more on about my pronunciation.
Oh, I don't know, mate. Abdullah, I would have said.
Yeah. He got hat-trick and an assist. He's coming from Swansea. He's you know what I find funny? He's a 22-year-old lad, right? And this lad, you'll look up at him as like a real, role model. And I'm a bit like it with Brendan Wiredu, and Mackenzie Hunt baffles me as well. Look at Brendan Wiredu and think, you're old enough to be like my dad. He's 18 months older than me. And that's what I don't get with football. I don't feel 22 myself. And when you look at footballers being 22, they feel so much older than that. I don't know what it is, if it's just me. Abdullah, right? Abdullah. Thank you very much. We'll get there.
He was good, wasn't
he? Dylan Marcandy, excellent as well. Fantastic for Chesterfield as well. What a result. Richie Wellens, unbelievable football manager. And he often mentions how he gets annoyed that he doesn't get linked with jobs that he maybe feel like he should do. They're now into the playoffs. They've now won just under half the games. They're now at 44 points, scoring 40 goals. They're just 4 points behind Huddersfield, bear in mind, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Level on points with Bolton Wanderers with a game in hand as well, who are just outside. This Leighton Orient team is going to take something special. They've got Stockport, Wrexham to come. I'm just amazed by how good they've been.
Yeah, they've certainly timed their run well for this part of the season. I don't know if it was us talking about it, Nappers, or whether it was I was talking to Gab in the week as well last week about Leyton Orient with Parksy, and just ever so slightly concerned that they've maybe peaked a little bit too early. I can't remember if that was us or whether that was me with Gab. I can't remember.
You said that was me.
I don't want to try and repeat it because they've just gone and shut us up completely with a great performance away at Exeter. This new lad who literally nobody would have heard of until Leyton Orient signed him goes and bags a hat trick. Sean Clare.
Gab Sutton knows all about him, mate.
Gab
Sutton knows where he went to school, how many goals he got in the under 18s.
I was going to say Gab Sutton probably knows his mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
But Dylan Markindale, and you know, Ben, I'm going to say it again. I said it. I think I've said it every week for maybe the last 10 weeks. Jamie Donnelly, wow, what a player that they've got on their hands. 1 goal, 2 assists, absolutely fantastic. Not only is it the likes of Markindale that's coming in and affected, Jack Curry was good on the left-hand side. Everything is just clicking for this Leyton Orient team at this moment in time, and they've got momentum, and that is, really hard thing to stop when you're an opposition team. They've only dropped points, Ben, to 2 teams on their current unbeaten run. Do you know who both of those teams were?
Peterborough and Burton, both 0-0.
I was hoping I was going to catch you out, but clearly not.
No.
Can't catch out the nap dog.
Peterborough was away 0-0 a couple of weeks ago. Burton was on the 14th of December.
Burton, speaking to David said Burton maybe could have beaten them. Could have beaten them that day. So
they should have done, to be fair.
I mean, this is a completely different animal that I saw when we beat Orient in the early season. We go there 2 weeks on Saturday. Not looking forward to it whatsoever. They're an absolute machine. Goals and creativity literally all over the park. Even coming off the bench yesterday, they have Brown, Todd James, Giacimi, Sweeney, happy to try and shore things up. But this Leyton Orient team, under a very good manager, Ben, may we add, are flying high, absolutely, and they deserve all the praise in which they're getting. I think it's important that we touch on Exeter a little bit, Ben, because whilst it's really important, really deserving that we talk about later on, because they've hit 6 goals away from home. Exeter, I'm slightly panicked. Obviously, Milanek Ali has scored both the goals this time. He's now, rumouredly, according to Peter O'Rourke, accepted a bid of £1.5 million for him. I mean, if they lose him, look at who else they've got in terms of that attacking threat. McGuinness, okay. Niskanen not been massively prolific going the other way. Caleb Watts, you've got Jack Aitchen, who's not done a lot at this level. Sonny Cox has been out. You've got Reece Cole, who is a midfielder, but is a goal scoring midfielder. He wasn't even in the matchday squad yesterday. So you have to worry for Exeter. You do, and the form is alarming. It's similar to what we've seen them go under before in the Coldwell. They're very streaky, and at the minute they can't buy a win for love nor money, really.
No, absolutely, and those defeats are creeping in. I think first half 3-0 down to Blackpool at the weekend, 4-0 down to Leyton Orient, and again they just don't look like staying in a game. That defensive crisis at the back is worrying as well. Diabetes, sorry, at the back. I think it was
I said diabetes.
No, a Bradford fan said
diabetes at the back.
I promise you this now, right? I was speaking to the Brunton Bugle, and he had a Bradford fan, and he went diabetes, and I went, I promise you now, before the end of the year, I'll get him, and I'll go diabetes, and because he was just taking the mick out of him. See, Matt Millen and Francis there. It is a makeshift back three. There's quality in the forward areas. However, they were good at being defensively solid and nicking it 1-0, 2-0. I go back to the game I watched them against Shrewsbury earlier this year. I think they won 2-0, didn't they, on that Thursday night? And Whitworth made some good saves. Don't get me wrong, Shrewsbury should have probably won that game of football. But again, Super Joe Whitworth kept them in it, and their expected goals against was high. But Again, Whitworth's goal prevention was the highest in the league. And again, this Leyton Orient team, one more year, Darren Prattley that will continue to sing as well. Clare in midfield, outstanding. Mark Handy, what a signing, by the way. Donnelly, outstanding. Abdul I, fantastic as well. Kelman as well, getting better, I think, as the weeks go on as well. I really do that as well. And solid backline, you've got Ethan Galbraith slipping in there as well. Omar Beckles' experience at this level as well. Cooper, Curry, Keeley in goal as well. Why not? Dare to dream. This is a good side. This is Leyton Orient. This is, what they do. This is what they've done for years now. Their fans are as least surprised as anyone. And they are a bit streaky at times. They started the season slow. Look, they didn't start that season slow. Where could they be? But I always say, would they be in this situation now? Sometimes you need to have the setbacks. I've got some tough games coming up, but everyone will be saying that about them. Never mind what Leyton Orient are saying. They've got Man City soon, who in the last 5 years have been the best team in Europe. However, they won't be fearing that anymore, which is so good to see. And again, I really like Richie Wellens' style of play. I really like his size. I really like watching him play. Again, fascinating. A side that I want to come to. I went through all the results, and I'll be honest with you, I've been on commentary, I don't check my phone, I look at all the results in League One. Saw this one, and I was like, what the hell? Wrexham 2, Stevenage 3. Wrexham are unbeaten in 15 home matches this season before this game on Tuesday evening. Stevenage had only scored 4 away goals all season. If you go back before Saturday, Stevenage had only scored 3 away goals all season. They've now scored 4 in their last 2, beating Barnsley and Wrexham, who currently sit in the table 3rd, and now Barnsley 9th after 3 defeats on the bounce have fallen out the playoffs. But what a win. Dan Kemp scoring for back-to-back games as well. Big goal, Reedy finally coming up with a goal, and Jake Young finally finding the goal after should be at Pilfoot Farm 6 months ago. He's finally appeared in a Stevenage shirt. It appears, a true story, there's a shirt at Fleetwood with Young 9 on the back as well. That's how close that deal was to happening. But he obviously went to Stevenage to play League One football. But what a result. Back-to-back wins for Stevenage now as well, which is really good as well. And Stevenage have actually won their last 4 league meetings with newly promoted opponents. This is for the first time they've done this since being in the EFL as well. And again, really good result for them. And a lot of questions got asked. They beat Mansfield away 1-0, I think, at October time.
And Jake Young scored.
Say again.
Jake Young scored that day. Scored the winner.
Yeah, he did. Well done. Stevenage, since the start of December, though, obviously after that period game against Mansfield, got in a bit of a drought. And when you're losing games and not scoring goals and you're a bit drab to watch, questions get asked. But when you're winning 1-0, nothing gets said. Since the start of December, 12 games, Jake, 7 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats. They scored 15 in that time. Only conceded 7, 8 clean sheets in that period as well. Going away, doing the double over Wrexham. And they've done the double over Barnsley now as well. This is a really, really solid team. And Charlie Keegan mentioned, look, 15, 10 wins now, 37 points. They're only 7 points off the playoffs. And if you 15 looked poor compared to last year, they're only 1 point off Lincoln with 2 games in hand.
Thanks, mate.
They're on excellent form, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, he's getting scared. They're going to slip in, aren't we? We tell you what, mate. Kershaw could be getting worried. I could have a new co-host for League 2 live next year.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Appreciate
Not
that.
knacking me up. I'd have too many options for League 2, having no options for League 1 live.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on Stevenage. A great back-to-back wins. Obviously, the first team to win at the race course since Tranmere in 2024, March 2024. So that's a big scalp. Thought they're excellent. Without the ball, you have to be when you go to Wrexham. They're going to create chances. But so many times, Ben, Wrexham have been undone away from home because the opposition team have given Wrexham the ball. And that is exactly what Stevenage did last night. They just allowed Wrexham to have all the possession and they were measly with it. They struggled to create particularly. And it's disappointing from a Wrexham point of view, but from a Stevenage point of view, to go to Barnsley and Wrexham, both 2 games the teams in the top 6 at the time, and to take 6 points is outstanding. Like you say, Dan Kemp has been so instrumental to the way that they play under Alex Ravel. A goal and an assist last night. Louis Appere, who's coming back from injury, I think it's fair to say that Stevenage have been without a lot of, and I'm going to sound like Farley, a lot of the big players for them have been injured. You look at Charlie Goods coming back into the lineup. You've got Louis Apre, who was out. Jamie Reid missed a chunk of the season. Eli King hasn't played a lot of football so far this year. Lewis Freestone's has been in and out. Kane Smith as well. So these players have really stepped up, and I feel like what's massively benefited them is having Alex Ravel come in rather than an outside, an external appointment, if that makes sense. Because Alex Ravel knew them all. He knew how to get the best out of them. He saw how Steve Evans tried to play them and just thought, I can do this a little bit better, I think, my way. And all of a sudden, you looking at them, are Stevenage out of a playoff race? If they win their games in hand, then Stevenage are well and truly in the mix. And it would be unfair of us to categorise not. Wrexham, it's a disappointing night. I think the only positive for Wrexham was the fact that they got to see Ryan Longman, obviously having made his debut for the club after signing after the Birmingham game last week. Not a lot of positives to Wrexham. Max Cleworth getting a goal. Paul Mullin finally scores a goal at League One level. Feels like a long time, and it's been quite a while since he's done that. But yeah, great win for Stevenage, one that I was incredibly surprised with. But Farley has not come down from cloud nine. He texted me last night. I believe he was in his hot tub. What did he texted me last night? 10:30. So we just got back in from the race course. Should have been 5. So there you are. What a result for Stevenage.
But Jay, we had that corner. And look at the boys. Go on, the boys. Annoyingly lovable, irritating, and you just want to. He's one of those like your team could lose 20 in a row, but because he's so lovable, he gets away with it.
Positive.
Do you know what I mean? He gets away with it. So. Yeah, absolutely. Keep your comments coming. Please keep liking the show. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you press subscribe. It means a lot. Jake, it's time.
Woo!
Go on, the Brewers.
Nappers, that's getting clipped. Just so you know.
I've already done it on TikTok, mate. Follow the TikTok if you haven't already. Thank you very much. COD Vlogs. Burton Albion 3, Reading 2. Burton have won 3 on the row. Burton have won 3 on the spin after winning just 3 of their last 28 games prior to this. That 28th game ago was Reading, where they beat them 3-2 at the Pirelli in a game that kept Burton Albion pretty much in League One. I remember it at the time, and at the time I was thinking of David and thinking, I hate you right now. But yesterday I was thinking, buzzing for David. You can have your 3-2 win now. Last year, because he relegated Fleetwood. Thanks a lot, David, for that. Gary Bowyer is currently averaging 1.33 points per game. 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats. And there would have been a lot of nerves inside that stadium yesterday, wouldn't there? Obviously, going 2 goals up, a really, really good atmosphere in the Pirelli yesterday. It has to be said. And positive, they lost 1 in the last 6, 10 points collected in the last 4 as well. But going 2-0 up after the first 29 minutes, being pegged back. But again, big John Daddy Bob Valson involved again. But again, Burrell again with that late goal, a tap in from short range as well, a great cross aside as well. And a great victory for them. This Reading side now have lost 3 on the spin. But this Burton side, Crocombe in goal, Van Kooten's getting better. Sweeney, obviously, about Armour bringing the ball out. I thought Webster was outstanding at times. You see, JJ McKinnon has added energy, a real presence, a real attacking energy, getting in box to box. Can really have a presence, a really good guided header flicked on for one of the goals as well. Dodson outstanding yesterday as well. Burrell and Bod Folson linking up nicely as well. Orsi, who was the main man for a lot. There's a lot of options on that bench now. All of a sudden, these players that were like, how are these League One footballers are like, tell you what, we've got some real quality in here now. And I will say this now, and this will get absolute pelters. I know what Davis is doing at Birmingham is revolutionary. If Gary Bowyer keeps Burton Albion in League One, without doubt, he is the manager of the season.
He won't win it, though.
He won't win it because the Burton Albion. And it's Burton Albion.
Yeah, Chris Davis will be manager of the year.
Chris Davis will win it. Don't get me wrong, nothing against Chris Davis. Fantastic job. Yes, they should get promoted, but the way they are getting promoted with 60 points already, Is that all you can muster, Birmingham? You should have
Is that it?
305 by now. Wink, wink. No, but I just think that to be 12 points adrift with a side that managerless for 55 days were unbelievably bad, had won 2 in 25 matches, and he's come in, and I love Gary Bowyer. He's at Blackpool, and I still like him as a manager. Don't get me wrong.
No wonder you like him then.
He undeservedly got the boot at Salford. Should never let, because he made them better. And his football isn't unbelievable to watch. It is suited to what Burton are at the minute, to be fair. If you look at all his clubs he's gone into, they're all troubled football clubs. And he goes in and makes it a better place. Salford wasn't troubled. The team in Scotland wasn't troubled. Don't get me wrong. They were in desperate situations to try and get into the playoffs and try and get something that he did. And he ended up pretty much nearly getting into the playoffs, very close at Salford. Obviously, won the league in Scotland. But then you look at Bradford, Blackburn, Blackpool, now Burton. Clubs in crisis for ownership at the first three. Blackpool is loved and adored. And he left because of the oysters. Let's get that straight as well. But then Burton now being 12 points adrift, smallish fan base will get behind you. We weren't enamored over his appointment, but he's a steady manager. He'll keep things calm. He'll make players feel on top of the world. And bringing in John Daddy-Bartholomew, he's a direct manager. He's revolutionary. He's a perfect player for Gary Bowyer. And for me, fantastic manager, and I'd love him to keep Burton Albion in League One. And he's a fantastic. I'd tell you something else as well. I know someone as well, Gary Bowyer, someone that I speak to quite often. One of his friends died that Gary Bowyer knew when he was at Blackpool, and he was a Blackpool fan. And he'd often wait after the game to speak to Gary Bowyer. When Gary Bowyer left the football club, probably this was after 2 years after he left the football club, Gary Bowyer drove back and attended the funeral. That's the type of guy that Gary Bowyer is. He's a top man and a top manager at this level.
Well, he's certainly doing a top job, isn't he? And I think a big part of what Burton Albion have been able to do, certainly in the last 9 days, is rely on new players. The new lads are massively improving the standards of the group. Owen Dodgson, Ben, is someone that we highlighted on the weekend. And again, he put in an unbelievable performance, getting another assist. I think that's pretty much 5 goals he's been directly involved with. Obviously, one man that's going to get the headlines for his goals is John Daddy Bodvarsson. He is becoming. And I had this conversation with David. I think it was yesterday or this morning. No other signing has made as bigger impact in this month so far than John Daddy Bodvarsson, and he's cut it at the top end of this league before with Bolton. He's been in the Championship with Reading. I remember him playing for Reading years ago. He's a top striker. And if you give him the ball in positions, he is going to find the net. And yesterday, he did so. Might I add, it's a great header across to him from our man, JJ McKiernan. Another outstanding performance from Lincoln, the Lincoln City loanee. Just looks. I think he had a round of applause when he came off. He's added a lot to the Burton midfield. Charlie Webster is a really good partner for him, and Kegs Chalke as well. They all want to do something similar, but JJ McKiernan's just got that.
I'll let you say that name conveniently. I missed him out.
What, Kegs Chalke? He's just got that.
He's just got that. Go back. He's the only one I don't mention.
You don't? Oh, is he? He's
David's been picked up on that properly.
Well, I don't ask you to pronounce the lad who went off for who replaced JJ. We all know that you have it. Yeah, there we go. Another great performance from JJ, most particularly that loanee is, like I said on Sunday night, is bearing fruits already, not only for Burton but for JJ himself, and hopefully in the long-term future for Lincoln, as he's a player that we'd like to build a side around. But taking nothing away from them, the main man yesterday, Ben, was Burrell. Like, he has been. I watched him on Tuesday at Wigan last week, and he was an absolute pest. He's quick. He runs in behind. He asks you questions. He presses. His movement isn't bad either. He's got a really nice touch and 2 really nice goals, including one in the 92nd minute. They thought that they'd absolutely thrown it away when Sam Smith scored the second goal, but Burton, the absolute the mindset that Gary Bowyer has instilled into this team over the last month. That we're not going to be beaten. We're still in games. We're good enough to get stuff out of games. And I think the last week has given them a huge amount of confidence. And you could see that as soon as they drew level Reading, Burton were on them. Burton were absolutely on them. And they were maybe unfortunate to make it wait to the 92nd minute to get that third goal. So great week for Burton. They are well and truly back in the survival hunt. They stand a chance, Ben, don't they? And all of a sudden, I think it was 2 months ago, you did a League One Unpopular Opinions, and you said Burton Albion would stay up.
Can I just say, I think this was middle of November. Bear in mind, middle of November. I've got the video somewhere. Just let me find it with me one finger texting. Where is it? David sent it to me. I swear, I've got it somewhere. Hang on, I've got it. Will stay in League One. I don't know what the trim's about, but there you are.
I don't know what the trim's about either.
Anyway, tell you what, things are happening. When you are top of the table, there is an element where I watch teams and you look at them, and when you play against them and you watch games, things happen. Things just click. Whether it's a team hitting the bar, having a goal disallowed, scoring a late goal, a deflection going in, you get an element of luck. You've got quality, but you get the rub of the green. When you're at bottom of the table, believe me, I saw it last year where we had lots of goals offside against us.
Oh, will you pack it in, mate?
We had deflections, we had injuries, we had red cards, we had everything go against us, right?
Give over.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wycombe Wanderers are getting exactly that at this moment in time. Wycombe Wanderers go a goal down to Barnsley, who have been in poor form, sluggish start, to go and score 2 goals from Richard Coney, who has been attracting £6 million worth of interest. That he's probably worth a bit more than that to Wycombe because he's the difference between promotion and not promotion. When you lose Bloomfield, when you lose Caleb Taylor, you think you lose Caleb Taylor, that is. You lose Aaron Morley, your manager goes to Luton and he tries to take your best player with him. You lose the core of your team that you built up. They're scoring late goals twice against Mansfield. They're finding a way to win games narrowly, especially at home. And to score to get a penalty as it is in the 95th minute, a sending off for Barnsley just after the hour mark as well, after Richard Coney had just scored as well. Things are happening for this football club. They've got quality to go with it. Don't get me wrong. 17 wins this season, only lost 4 times. Look, they're unbeaten in 3 after that defeat to Huddersfield, 7 points collected as well. They scored 54 goals. They're 2 points behind, Birmingham. Yes, they played 2 more. But now they've got a 6-point cushion on Wrexham and a 10-point cushion on Huddersfield. Last night, that goal could be that moment that sends Wycombe to the Championship.
That's quite a statement, Ben, given that we're only in January and we are still technically in the transfer window. I don't know about you, Ben, but
you look at it though, Jake, as well. Wrexham are fluttering the lines. Huddersfield have now lost the last 2. 10 points is a big gap. I don't think Wrexham will go and get 6 more points because of the home form, and their away form has been pretty drab. It's very, very,
It's difficult, but we could still see a Wycombe Wanderers without Richard Coney if the bid gets excessive. I already think the bid.
Do you think they need to sell though?
If you get offered, let's say, Ben,
10 million.
Let's say Luton offer on 10 mil, right?
Yeah, but £10 million is ludicrous.
£6 million is ludicrous for Richard Coney.
It is ludicrous because he had half a good season. That's it.
Literally.
But £6 million at this moment in time, you'd think that goals, 10 million, all of a sudden that £4 million extra is life changing. You know what I mean?
Can I just say, I have been asked to do the Alex Ravel chant by a certain Stevenage fan. Do I have your permission? Now,
go on.
Can you join in with me? Do you know it?
No.
It's Revel again, ole, ole. Come on, Nappers. You've got to do a rendition. Farley's asking for it.
Farley can get lost.
Right. Farley, I tried. He's
Love
gonna
you,
clip it.
Farley.
He's
Where
gonna
is
clip it.
he? He's not here, is he?
I'll tell you where he is. He's in my WhatsApp DMs while we're live. As is
Tell him
Dan
to join in
Richardson,
and
by
I
the way.
might.
As is Dan Richardson, and you can tell Helen, Dan, that I have had a trim, and I appreciate her a compliment. So anyway, Ben, where were we? Wycombe, yes, fantastic. £6 million for Richard Coney, unsure. Red card for Barnsley last night, unsure.
What did you think of it?
I think it's a bit I have seen it because Cal Fowler retweeted it. That's the only way that I saw it while I was at work earlier.
What you're doing on your phone while at work?
If my boss is watching, I am always on my phone at work. He even came up in my PMR, I think.
It's been brought up in mine. Don't worry.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised knowing you, mate. It's not a red card, Ben, is it? For
message to reply to.
For Mark, it's not a red card for Mark Roberts. I wonder who you've got a message to reply to. Maybe someone that's just entered the chat, Ben. Yeah, not a red card. Absolutely not a red card for Mark Roberts. Yeah, Barnsley go 1-0 up, Ben, through Russell, who's been a really big impact on them. Oh, well done, Nappers. You put 2 and 2 together, lad. Yeah. Barnsley must have been an absolute dreamland. But such is the spirit of this team. Richard Coney twice. I mean, it's a good penalty. And the second one is all about Gareth McCleary. The quality of the run to keep the ball and to put across where he did. For me, I'm not having a go at Richard Coney because it's a good header. But I think the goalkeeper should save it. It's pretty much down the middle of the goal. I think he should save it. Maybe I've been a little bit harsh, but yeah, when you've got the rub of the green, you've got the rub of the green, and Wycombe Wanderers have had that over the last 13 calendar months, you'd have to say. Ever since the turn of 2024, they've been absolutely phenomenal. But I literally can't get over the fact that Luton had bid £6 million for. I can't imagine it.
No,
I understand. I completely understand. And I know we said we're doing a power hour or something. We're only halfway through, and we've done like 3 games.
This always happens.
This is it's
90 minutes show.
It's like in Step Brothers that when they sleepwalk, you put like a handbag in the oven, and I end up putting a handbag in the freezer or something like that.
Hey.
Have you not seen Step Brothers?
I've seen Step Brothers, but what the has that got to do with this?
Well, it's like they subconsciously just do it, and we just subconsciously go on for hours about games. But I understand £6 million is a lot of money, and if they get promoted, it's a lot of money. Don't pull that face at me, Benjamin, or Nippers, shall I call you?
My name is not Nippers. I'm gonna kill her. I'm messaging her now.
At what point? Thanks, Dan. At what point do you expect Wycombe to accept a bid?
Right. £10 million. £10 million. They don't need the money. I'd rather get promoted. £10 million. The difference. I want £10 million. He's the difference between just 5 days of the window left to go. I'm not going to go to Poundland and find a striker now, am I? Do you know what I mean? I need a striker who's going to score me enough goals. Who's going to come? Then all of a sudden, people know everyone to Wycombe. You know, I'm not being funny. If they came for Freddie Draper, now all of a sudden for him, 50 quid, he's now worth
£5 million.
Yeah. And that's to be fair, if I was Fred, I'd set off now. To be fair.
Right. That's not on. That's not on. You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that.
I can say what I want, mate. I can say what I want.
So move on, please.
Yeah, who's next? I've not seen. I've zoned out.
Bolton.
Bolton. Evening. Right, Bolton Wanderers 3, Northampton 1. How are we? Everett's gone. Never the problem, was he? up to 7th now. Back-to-back victories, 44 points. Nearly won half the games this season as well with a victory over Northampton Town. Kevin Nolan returned to a side that he spent 8 years of his playing career at. George Thomason before Liam Shaw. Unfortunately, he finds the back of his own goal.
Yeah, great finish.
Aaron Collins scoring the 3rd goal. Great victory, 3-1. Nearly 19k on last night. A lot of a different feel-good factor around the football club now. Last week, so negative. This week, positive again. New manager may be close. Stephen Schumacher, odds-on favourite at this moment in time. Robbie Fowler has been mentioned, but I'm not quite sure of that as well. Aaron Collins
as well.
Say again.
David Wagner.
Yeah, Aaron Collins again starting to come in a bit of form as well. Again, a good victory over Northampton, who aren't the greatest of sides. This was always, I think I had 2-0, it was 3-1. Again, they're still just above that relegation zone with Burton and Crawley kind of halving the gap from 6-3 yesterday as well. But Bolton Wanderers now only 3 points behind Stockport. They've been in this situation all year of Bolton, but it's always felt, oh, they're miles ahead of us. We're going nowhere. Now all of a sudden it's like, tell you what, we can really push on here.
Yeah, big win, wasn't it, for Bolton? I mean, they did get the helping hand of Liam Shaw with a delightful finish into his own net, which I'm sure Nappers didn't mind, being an ex-Fleetwood boy. I'm just trying to have a look now. Yeah, Aaron Collins, massively the beneficiary as well. He was fantastic last night. Took his goal particularly well as well. Yeah, I feel like you're right, Ben. It feels like, I've used this analogy before, hello Fenton, that they have, it's like popping a spot. They've sucked all the badness of Ian Evatt out of their spot, and now the skin is starting to heal and starting to grow again. And Bolton Wanderers are finally starting to get their act together again. It was a great win on the weekend away at Huddersfield. Yesterday, I imagine, and I obviously clearly wasn't there. I was elsewhere at the time.
Well, I wasn't there. That's poor for League One Live.
I was at a League One game, just not Bolton. I wish I went. I wish I'd gone to Bolton. Put it that way. Yeah.
Could have had a date.
Eh?
Could have had a date, couldn't you?
No. I'm not going to Starbucks again. I've got PTSD. Yeah, it's. I imagine the atmosphere felt different without Ian Evatt being in the dugout on last night. Obviously, Julian Derby has such a close connection to the Bolton fans. The players played like last night without the shackles, like they did on Saturday. Massive influence from the likes of Collins, Aaron Morley again, Joel Randall coming off and getting himself a goal contribution as well. I thought it was nice that they were singing the Kevin Nolan chant right towards the end of the game. Kevin Nolan certainly seemed to enjoy it.
By the way, they weren't. By the way,
Kevin
Nolan.
Thought
he was. They're actually singing "Hey, Aaron Morley," and he thought they were singing "Hey, Kevin Nolan" because that used to be his chant. So he waved, and they were singing about Aaron Morley.
How awkward. Well, yeah, great for Bolton, but it feels like they really have to get the next appointment right, doesn't it? Obviously, you mentioned Schumacher probably is the best fit stylistically, and also location, ambition really plays into everything as well. I think he'd be the right one, but something just tells me they might end up pulling someone else out of the bag because the football people perhaps are not the best football people that are in League One. For Northampton, Ben, I don't think they were surprised to lose this game. Obviously, they've got a massive injury crisis going on at the moment. I'm surprised they're able to technically field 11 players, given everything that's going on at Sixfields at the moment. Really changed side by the looks of it. McGeehan having to play up front, Mitch Pinnock playing as a wing back, even though traditionally he's more of a number 10. Hondermark, Sean Dyche's lad, Max Dyche playing in the middle of the back three as well. So they have an injury crisis on their hands, and for me, they need a couple more bodies. But great for Bolton, putting themselves right in the playoff mix, and that will be the very least which their fans will expect. Certainly now, given that they're pretty much level with Leyton Orient almost, with Stockport, etc. So, yeah, look, great chance for Bolton to finish in the playoffs.
38 minutes in on League One Live. Well, 39 and a half, actually.
Well, it's all right, Ben, because we can skip the next game. We don't need to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
I think I agree. No, I tell you what. Bye. I agree. Bye. I can't leave. Sorry, I'm back again. I agree. Lincoln
tried.
Blackpool 2. Before this one, Blackpool failed to win any of their last 4 league away games against Lincoln City. However, Blackpool are now 6 unbeaten in Sky Bet League One, drawing 4 and winning back-to-back games. The Seasiders have now won 7 of 16 away matches this term, and are only 1 point away from matching their point tally of last season away from home, playing 7 less games. However, Blackpool have the 3rd worst home record in the division, whereas last year it was one of their best. And I said on Saturday, I think the shape that Blackpool are playing with the 4-4-2 with the wingers, you don't want Blackpool to have the ball. Blackpool, when they have the ball, aren't a good side. Blackpool, when they don't have the ball, very, very frightening. Very frightening. And maybe that's why they struggled at home and the better away from home, like Exeter, like Lincoln the other day as well. Good result for the Seaside. I think they're only 7 points now off the playoffs as well. Oliver Casey, I thought, was outstanding in the match as well. I really thought since his time at Forest Green Rovers in that season where they got relegated, he was outstanding. Yeah. What?
All right. Okay. How do you know he was outstanding?
Because I've actually watched the extended highlights of this game.
Oh, God help you. There was hardly any extent. There was any highlights.
Extended highlights of this game.
Ben, to be honest, in terms of the two teams, I don't think there was a great deal between it.
No, it was an even game that Blackpool shaded, but win.
Yeah. Well, I'm not making any excuses. The difference was, Ben, that we made mistakes and they didn't. That was the ultimate. That was the difference. Adam Jackson makes a mistake for the first one, and then about 3 Lincoln players just stand and watch Ollie Casey put it in the net for the second one. Another difference, the main factor between what caused the result, I thought Blackpool just had pace everywhere. CJ Hamilton one side, Rob up to the other, pace. Sonny Carey, quick compared to our midfielders. Up front, Tom Bloxham, absolutely rapid. Ashley Fletcher is no slouch and got him behind and probably should have scored before he did inevitably score. Blackpool were good. Defensively, they were outstanding. They stood up to what we had to offer them second half. Ollie Casey was good, Ben. You're absolutely spot on. Harry Tyra made a couple of good saves. You look at the stats, says the game should have finished 1-1. There's a slight issue with a refereeing decision that I don't agree with, but I don't think it would have changed the impact of the game. We were 2-0 down at the time. So, look, Blackpool will feel that they were good value for the win. They came and did a job. We created a number of chances and weren't able to put one in the back of the net. Sometimes it happens. So, yeah, I mean, like you say, Blackpool better without the ball. With the ball, I wasn't massively impressed with them, but without it, structured, hit on the counter, I thought they were good. I thought, and they deserved it, which is the most annoying thing because we won our last 2. We got in thinking Blackpool at home, it's a real opportunity. It's going to get 3 more points, and we just play it long. And there's no reason, there's no wonder why players are going out on loan and absolutely shining. JJ, Dylan Duffy got an assist the other night. I have a feeling it's something to do with the environment being created at Lincoln, and I'm worried about that because players on our books can go elsewhere and perform really well. JJ at Burton, Rob Street at Doncaster, Dylan Duffy at Chesterfield. And for some reason, those players are not being given an opportunity here. I worry about the environment. I worry about the short-term future. I imagine we're probably going to end up losing one of our key players before the end of the deadline. We'll have to wait and see, but it's not looking rosy at the minute. And I'm not looking forward to going to Wigan on Saturday. But will I go, Ben? Of course I'll be going, but I've got nothing else to do. But it's becoming a little bit of a chore at the moment, it feels like.
Can I just ask the short-term future and the culture, where does that come from? I'm asking you seriously. I want to know. You don't drop a bomb, and I want you to allude on it.
You want me to talk about the manager, don't you? I assume. I don't know. At Lincoln, I feel like the culture set comes maybe from higher than the manager. I don't know. It just feels a little bit of a mess at the moment. There are things going on that maybe shouldn't be. it just feels. I don't know. It doesn't. Something just doesn't feel right. I feel like I don't know if we're going to change because I'm a big Michael Scabala fan. You know that, Ben. I absolutely think he's a top coach. But I just worry that things are maybe getting a little bit stale, or if his relationship with the players isn't perhaps as good as it could be. Whether that's the director of football potentially, I don't know, mate. It feels from an outside point of view that we're not getting communicated with well either, which seems to struggle. We've just lost £3 million for the year. It's concerning. It really is.
You think you'll get into the playoffs?
No.
Jake?
I knew that was coming. David, you're in trouble because he sent you that.
Why do you go stealing the questions up? Genuinely, though, all I would say to you, right, and the biggest advice I would give you now, and normally on FaceTime, you're the ones giving me advice about certain, maybe not football topics, but Fleetwood, I was getting a bit bored to watch and wanted something more. And maybe was a little bit excited last year because we had something to play for at the end of the year. Be careful what you wish for. You're mid-table in League One.
It's not the worst place to be. Absolutely.
Just listen to me. You'd have given anything for that 10 years ago.
Yeah, I said that to Barry earlier.
Clubs like Lincoln have to fight for everything, and you're not always going to have a good season. A good season this year would have been in the top 10. You were a top 12 club last year that went on a good run, and you weren't consistent over 46 games. You were good for 15 games, outstanding for 15 games, and average for 30. That's the truth. Fleetwood, I'd give anything to get back to League One. I'd do anything. I actually watched my vlog at Leighton Orient the other day because I was bored of Fleetwood this year, and it made me realise we're mid-table. I'd have given anything last year to be mid-table.
Yeah,
positive. So I think that maybe just have a positive outlook. And
it just gets frustrating, Ben, that teams all of a sudden bypass you. Like last season, we finished above Wycombe, we finished above Leighton Orient. They're both all of a sudden in the promotion picture. It's a little bit frustrating watching teams just fly past you. But we've done that to other teams, I suppose.
That's football. And Lincoln do it their way. Wycombe will do it their way. Last season, you had a better season than Wycombe at times. Do you know what I mean? A few years ago, you got to the playoffs. Well, unfortunately, you lost in the final. And that'll come back at you. I do anything to go back to the days that Fleetwood were in League One. And I get worried that Fleetwood will never be in League One ever again. That's my worry.
You're promoted this year, mate. Stop worrying.
No, it's a couple of wins. We're 2 or 3 wins away from safety.
Should we
move on because we need to get through games. Talk about right.
I'm going to turn my heating off. You crack on.
Talk about flashes, right? We're going to flash in 3, 2, 1. Speed camera. Bristol Rovers at the Valley. 3 points to Charlton Athletic. He's still not here. 3 points. Before this one, after remaining unbeaten across their last 10 league games in Bristol Rovers, Charlton actually lost their last 5 against the Gas as well. That's actually been recycled from the last time they played each other, by the way. Where Bristol Rovers won on that Tuesday night. Charlton won their last 3 midweek games now on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the league as well. The last one in April 2021, those 3 games in midweek as well. And Bristol Rovers now lost the last 5 in midweek as well, so haven't got a great record as well. Bristol Rovers had 2 positive results that really spurred them on and really got them 8 points adrift, didn't they, from that bottom area. However, now the improvements in Shrewsbury Town, obviously, not of late, last couple of weeks. Cambridge won at the weekend as well. Crawley getting a couple, 4 points in the last 3. Burton Albion getting 10 points in the last 4. Northampton getting a win recently as well. Bristol Rovers are still in that mess. And I'd say anyone from Bristol Rovers downwards now are in trouble. Potentially Exeter could look at their form as well. 5 defeats in the last 6. This is concerning. But for Charlton, they're only a point off the playoffs. I think they've won 5, drawn 3, lost 1. That's 2 points a game, mate.
Yeah, they're streaky, aren't they, Charlton? It's very difficult to have these shows so close.
Getting a drink.
Well, you can drink on stream, Nappers. There's no need to expose me like this on full screen. Please.
What don't you like about it?
I just don't like the dimensions of it. That's all.
It shows off a chin.
Can't see mine, mate. I've got a nice big bushy beard like the captain in the gas logo. I don't know, mate. Yeah, they're streaky, Charlton, and I'm trying not to repeat what I said last week. But they edge by in games, and they did a little bit again here. Bristol Rovers weren't fantastic, but they did enough to get the job done. There's not a lot else to be said. Bristol Rovers concerning, need bodies in, injury concerns. Taylor Moore, I think, is on borrowed time. Not overly sure that any of the front players are massively producing in the manner in which Bristol Rovers expected, certainly given that Shaq Ford came in for good money. Rules Satoru obviously will be absolutely devastated that he left Leighton Orient to go for a relegation battle at Bristol Rovers. Chris Martin is getting on now. I feel like that whole sort of front line needs a bit of a refresh in the summer. Obviously, they were linked with Keon Atete, but he's believed to go to Bolton. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess at Bristol Rovers on and off the pitch, and we'll have to wait and see what carries on.
Yeah, very interesting. What game are we at now? I do have it here. But
you really should know, Nappers, given that this is your show, shouldn't you?
I should know, but I've got pages everywhere.
In, Ben, and I feel like we've done
I've got 5 pages
games.
of notes. Right, I've got notes here, right? So I'm trying to find, I've got stats here, you know.
Yeah, I've got 5 games to go, Ben, and predictions.
It's fine. Don't worry. Calm down.
It's all right. So some of us haven't been able to sit on the sofa since they got home from work.
Even I finished work at 4:30. I went to the gym. I did a 10K. I've come home, had food, and I've literally sat in this chair since 7:15 doing prep. So, you know.
Rotherham
United have won each of their last 5 league games against Cambridge United, conceding just 2 goals across that time. And now Rotherham have actually won 3 of their last 3 home games as well. And now have the 6th best home record in the division. Another defeat for Cambridge on the road, who have the joint worst away record in League One, joint with Shrewsbury, but also the 2nd joint worst away record in the EFL. Only Plymouth Argyle and Luton on 4 points, and joint with Shrewsbury on 6 points, have less points in them. Just above them are Tranmere as well. Again, poor kind of performance on the road after going a goal up. Good performance for Rotherham, though. 7 points off the playoffs. Can Big Steve work his magic?
In a word, no, he can't. I think they've left themselves a little bit too much to do. Rotherham have pretty much got to be flawless between now and the end of the year. But a good win nonetheless. Joe Powell making a massive impact for the assist for Malik Wilkes' goal. Cambridge, I think there can be positives for them. Stokes, again, getting a goal involvement. Ryan Loft continuing his fine form in front of goal. When they went 1-0 up, I think Cambridge fans must have been a little bit in dreamland, but knowing their defensive record so far this year, there is no surprise that they surrendered a goal lead. Malik Wilkes, Ben, looks like a player that's playing for a contract next season. I can't lie. Obviously, he's out of contract at Sheffield Wednesday, whether he's trying to get a contract at Rotherham or elsewhere. Clearly doing well under Steve Evans. And we've often said, Ben, I was speaking to Matt from the New York Talk, who I'm sure you would have collaborated with previously.
Yeah, I had a chat with Matt Field-Vassell about 4 years ago.
Talking about once Steve Evans' teams get going, they're very difficult to stop. And all of a sudden, you know, they're on a little bit of a roll, bar the blip on Saturday. So, yeah, Joe Powell is massively the difference for Rotherham United. He's really gets them ticking. And also, one lad to mention is Humphreys. He stepped in into midfield from centre back. Obviously, came through the Man City academy and has got that technical ability. He's helping them retain possession. It allows McDonald, Powell, Sibley to know that they've got that layer of protection behind them. So, yeah, another good win for Rotherham.
Can I just say as well, so in one of my vlogs earlier this year, we played Rotherham at home. We won 2-1. And I had a bet on with Tony at the time. I reckon I can get 20 Oasis songs. It was like 2 days after they announced the reunion. I reckon I can get 20 Oasis. And I used Steve. What can I say? Some can say Steve Evans is born on a different cloud. Some, he's very hard to stop. So that's how I got my reference in as well. For him as well. Anyway, moving on, because that wasn't very interesting as well. Just thought I'd add it in there as well, just to annoy Jake to prolong the show, to be fair. Right, Huddersfield 0, Birmingham 1. Oh, What a goal. I hope you saw it, Jake. Did you see this one?
Yes, it was a lovely finish, and Lars Sorensen should have shut him down, is what he should have done.
I thought you were going to go, yes, it's a great finish, finessed into the top.
No, it went
You've been very, very accurate, though. Keshi Anderson is a player that he's not been a regular goal scorer in the last few years, but he came on the other day and immediately made an impact against Wrexham. And I like him. I like that he's hardworking, runs at teams and gives everything. And you need players like that as well. And he's a really, really good strike. And look, having a Water back in midfield as well, but having to come off. What a disgraceful challenge that is, by the way. It's horrible.
Red card.
Yeah. I think it should be 2 red cards, absolutely. But again, he's Birmingham City. Having him back, I felt in the last few weeks that, again, especially against Wrexham, that Birmingham had no control, couldn't really settle into the game, couldn't really get the foot on the ball in the second half. If a Water and Pate was there, I really feel they would have been able to start playing their own stuff and calming the game down, and they wouldn't have been able to get through. It would just been steady, and Birmingham would have looked a better team. So losing him is different. I thought Ben Davies was excellent yesterday in the Birmingham City account, actually pointing him out. You know how much I like him, on kind of that far-hand side as well. Good left foot, decent on his right foot as well. He's absolutely outstanding, I think, at times as well. A few stats on the Blues as well. Birmingham actually won 9 league away games now this season, which is the most since 2013-14, where they also won 9 away games as well. Unbeaten this year as well, which is good. I think it's 16 now unbeaten in the league, and everyone's saying that they're going for a difficult time. They're still finding a way to get points on the board at 60 points, for goodness sake. They've won 15 of the last 20 away games. That's as many as their previous 74 as well. And when Birmingham go a goal up, they are hard to stop. 24 wins, 4 draws when scoring that first goal in the game. And what a way to win it. Away at Huddersfield, a promotion rival. When in the last few weeks, Wrexham have only taken a point from the last 9 available. Wycombe have actually taken 7, so Birmingham have matched them. Huddersfield have only taken 1. It's been massive that they got to 60 points. 40 points to go, 20 games to go, 2 points a game. It's doable.
Of course it is, mate. Yeah. It's a real statement win, isn't it, to go and win it away at Huddersfield. I know they lost to Bolton on the weekend, but you'd imagine it's a pretty good, a really big scalp. I thought they were good. Keshi Anderson was the best player on the pitch when Birmingham came to us in October. I think he scored twice. Was outstanding. And he's technically probably one of the better players that Birmingham have got without having the attached price tag. Because if Birmingham bought Keshi Anderson, I think you're probably looking at £3-4 million player, given what he'd done at Blackpool in the Championship. A very technically talented footballer, and the goal just sums him up. Really, it's a great chests it, and it's a great sort of hard volley towards the goal, loops over the goalkeeper, unstoppable in front of that sold out Birmingham City away end. They're on a roll, Ben. They are just absolutely on a roll, and to only have lost 2 games of your first 26, 27 games, however many they've played, is outstanding. 60 points by this point as well. If they're on 2 points per game, they'll be on 52, so they're going at more than 2 points a game. Outstanding. There's not a lot else can be said about this Birmingham team, Ben. They're motoring on. Chris Davis is doing a fantastic job. Yes, he's got the resource, but you've got to do it. A lot of managers have had resource and not been able to get teams promoted. So fair play to him. Like you say, massive to have a Water back in the team last night. However, that was a red card on Hogg. Although, by all accounts, Hogg did start to play well for Huddersfield last night, bar the incident which led to the potential red card. Also, big news for Huddersfield, Ben. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. A certain centre forward out the matchday squad, out for 6 to 8 weeks. Ouch.
Yeah, again, but a great victory. They've come together. They're getting to each other through tough moments, aren't they? Which is really, really good. And I think Dave said after the game, you played like brothers out there as well. And he's really built a culture there to go into next season as well. Mansfield 0, Crawley 1. Crawley's last 2 victories have come away from home on Tuesday night. Away at Charlton, now away at Mansfield, both by the odd goal. With 7 without a win, losing 5 of which However, in the running, now they've cut that gap to just 3 points, Jake. 12 of their remaining 20 is at the Broadfield Stadium, their home ground, where they can really start to build a fortress. They played 15 of their 26 matches away, so a big chance they kind of maybe get something as well. And they've kind of done the dirty over Mansfield in previous seasons. They won their away 4-1 there last season under Scott Lindsay. A bit of a different Crawley side this time around, but still a big, big win.
Yeah, great place to get it as well, Crawley. So thank you very much. Yeah, I thought they were good. Had to buy the time, but Mansfield's a difficult place to go, and they went and took 3 points. It's massive for them. Then, like you say, they've got so many games left at the Broadfield Stadium. Let Pebble. I'm seeing you shortly. You can clear off.
What tonight?
Yeah. I've still got a podcast to record, mate. So
we'll get it through.
Still got things to do. Right, okay. He's now taking a picture of my face and sending it to me. Thanks, lad. That's massive. It's believed they're probably going to lose one of their better players. Ben, I don't know how much there is in the fact that Ronan Darcy off to Wigan might potentially cause a bit of a ruckus in Crawley.
Mate. Where have you seen that?
On Twitter, mate. There's a picture of him in a Wigan tracksuit. You seen it?
No.
There are levels to this game, young man.
I've had work, mate. I don't go on my phone at work.
It was after work, Ben. I saw it in the gym, actually, because I go to the gym now.
I don't go on my phone in the gym, mate. I just run and lift weights.
Great win. Great. Can I go? Great win for Crawley. Really important that they pick up as many points as they can at home. Make it tight, make it compact, like you say. Not a lot else to say. Great win for Crawley. Mansfield. It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, Stockport 1, Shrewsbury 0. Good result for Stockport. Again, slowly finding the way back to a bit of good form. 3 wins on the spin, 47 points now. For Shrewsbury, they've lost by the odd goal twice in the last 2 games. Bottom of the league now, 7 points adrift. After building some momentum, it's been halted in the last few weeks. Maybe feel they're unlucky not to be on 22 points. However, some home games to come as well in the next few weeks, which is massive for them when you think about it. Home at Mansfield, away at Rotherham, away at Reading, but then 3 home games on the spin against Bolton, Huddersfield and Stevenage. We'll know a lot about Shrewsbury in a month's time.
You what?
My foot.
You stubbed your toe?
Yeah.
Live on air, Napper stubs his toe. Yeah.
They're out as well.
Hey?
I've not got any socks on to protect me either.
I don't think a sock was going to help you, mate. To be honest, pearl of a goal, mate, wasn't it? From Ollie Norwood, struck it really well into the top corner from a free kick. You've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah,
you've seen it.
Great strike.
Great strike, great win for them. I had this conversation, Ben. I know I'm trying myself not to drag things out. But I had this conversation with David about Gary Bowyer, obviously, because it's Burton, and Gareth Ainsworth. Him saying he'd rather have Gary Bowyer because Gareth Ainsworth is too out there and is talking his team up to stay up. I love Gareth Ainsworth, so I would rather have Gareth. I would rather play for a manager that believes in me and says it to the media than play for a manager that goes, "Oh well, we've still got a really long way to go," to the media. Where do you sit on that spectrum?
I'd rather have Gareth Ainsworth for me more long term than Gary Bowyer. I think Gary Bowyer.
I'd want to run through a brick wall for Gareth Ainsworth.
Oh, I honestly, yeah. As I said this,
I'd put my head through that plasterboard right now for Gareth Ainsworth.
And honestly, you'd be like, "Go on, yeah, you can do it."
I know I can, Gareth. I know I can do it. I've tried.
Yeah,
carry on.
You've got some holes in the wall, so you'll be fine. There'll be gaps there.
I have, mate. Yeah, neighbours not really come on the other side of it though, which is
don't worry. Last game, Peterborough 1, Wigan 0. Before this one, Peterborough United had the fewest home clean sheets in the league as well, only the one, and conceded the most home goals as well. Again, their 6th victory at home this year. I felt this one was an untypical Peterborough win. 1-0 at home, dug it out, wasn't pretty, but found a way to win. it wasn't Peterborough at all. And I asked a few weeks, I want Peterborough to dig out some 1-0 victories and find something from absolutely nowhere. And they did. It was a great victory for them. They needed it as well because they've only been 3 points above the drop now. Now they're only kind of 3 points off where Wigan are as well. So if Peterborough can pull some wins together as well, again, a clean sheet will help them as well. Need to find some momentum, end this season well to go into next season, where normally in the second season they're a bit better. Again, Peterborough's squad was too soft on Saturday. They weren't soft yesterday. They were a group of soldiers out there.
Were they? What, egg and soldiers?
I don't like it. I've never had an egg, but I don't like eggs.
Yeah. Right. Can we
never had a cup of tea or coffee or whatever.
You've never had an egg?
Never had an egg, never had scrambled egg, never had a cup of tea, never had coffee, never had a bother.
This changes everything, Matt. This changes everything.
Don't like it.
You've never had an egg?
No. And I go to the gym 5-6 times a week.
How do you not like an egg?
Just don't like the tech. I just look at it and don't like it.
Boiled eggs, in a Scotch egg are phenomenal. Oh yeah, have you had cake? You had cake before? You eating cake? That has egg in it.
Yeah, but that's like saying, right? I like.
So I do have gravy. You're a liar. So I do have gravy. You're a liar. I do.
I don't like crisps. Like now.
Peterborough. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, Richard. I don't know if it's just me. Please. Has anyone got anything that they've never had but they don't like?
Richard Godson, you're a legend.
Everyone says this to me.
Often when a team gets battered and concedes 4, 5, or 6, you often see the team revert to defence first. And all of a sudden, Peterborough did that last night. Excellent performance from Sam Hughes, from Teo Whedon, and your ex-man, Carl Johnston. I didn't wasn't able to get a word with him on Saturday, Ben, because he got dragged off at half-time, which is a real shame. But back to basics for Posh. Wasn't pretty, wasn't beautiful, wasn't sexy like we would say to Peter about Peterborough, but it was a win that drags them into the 30 points now, looking ahead to safety potentially.
Yeah. Predictions?
Yes, we do them. And we'll do a big roundup on Sunday.
Yep.
Is that all right?
We don't have them.
Well, no, Ben, with the greatest of respect, Ben, I went to the game last night. I went to bed, went to work. All right. Can I have a bit of patience, please? My God.
You're going to plug your Twitter while you're doing it.
You've not got the handle up here, so I've got to try and explain how to spell my surname again.
Let me try and find it.
Right. I am now how many followers away from 1,500? I am 39 followers away from 1,500, and I am desperate to get to 1,500 followers by the time it's my dad's birthday on Valentine's Day. So please, please, please come and follow me on Twitter at Jake_Tong, TONGE 98, the year I was born. Also, come and check out the Here for the Lincoln podcast, which we will have an episode out in the morning. Please come and check me out.
Also, go and check out that Football League podcast. Oh, wait, sorry.
Nappers, you had to say something, didn't you? Yeah, rip. Right. Shall I talk about predictions so we don't have to get depressed about that?
Apparently, you never followed her back.
Sorry, I will follow you back, Kaylee.
Predictions.
Who went for? I can't. Oh, is it me first?
Yeah.
Super. Barnsley, Burton. Sorry, David. Barnsley 2, Burton 1.
Barnsley 1, Burton 1.
Stevenage at home to Exeter. I'm going to go Stevenage 1, Exeter 0.
Stevenage 2, Exeter 0.
Birmingham against Rotherham. Going Birmingham 4, Rotherham 1.
Birmingham 3, Rotherham 0.
What a surprise. Blackpool at home to Charlton. I'm going to go Blackpool 1, Charlton 1.
Blackpool 2, Charlton 1.
Cambridge hosting Wycombe. I'm going Wycombe Wanderers 3, Cambridge 0.
Wycombe 2, Cambridge 0.
It's at Cambridge, by the way. Just
Well, you never said that. But all right then. Cambridge 0, Wycombe 2.
yeah. Crawley against Wrexham. I'm going Crawley 1, Wrexham 1.
Crawley 2, Wrexham 1.
Oh goodness me. Leighton Orient versus Stockport. I'm gonna go. Oh. Orient. Oh, the Orient Express continues. Leighton Orient 2, Stockport 1.
Orient beat them 4-1 earlier this year, I think.
They did,
Which was
yeah.
Stockport's first defeat of the season. I think was it Orient's second win of the season after winning 1-0 at Reading.
Yeah. They went back to back.
2-0. What did you go? 2-0.
2-1.
2-0.
Northampton against Huddersfield. Now they've got Joe Taylor out. Northampton 0, Huddersfield 1.
Northampton 0, Huddersfield 1.
That's what I just. You literally just repeated me.
2-0.
My God, Nappers.
Mate, me focus is gone. Me concentration. Can I just say?
Oh,
I worked for 8 hours. I've done a run.
I'm fuming.
I've filmed videos. My social battery has
Carmex,
run out.
Carmex, you know what you've done. I have just said that scoreline. And Nappers, you know what you've done. So pick another one.
2-0.
2-0. Right.
Yes.
Reading Bolton. I'm going Reading 1, Bolton 2.
Ooh, Reading 1, Bolton 1.
Wigan Lincoln. Wigan 0, Lincoln City 0.
Wigan 1, Lincoln 0. Brendan Wirradu.
Brendan Wirradu winner. Yeah.
You know, I think I'm going to see him Saturday, and you are. Imagine, oh my, no. No, I just thought about that. No.
Shrewsbury Mansfield. I'm going Shrewsbury 1, Mansfield 1.
Don't care. I'm off. Shrewsbury Mansfield. 2-1 Shrewsbury.
And Bristol Rovers playing Peterborough. I'm going for Gas 1, Posh 1.
2-1 Posh.
There we are. 72 minutes.
Thank you so much for watching, Jake. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, mate. I have more of this to do and edit. So
I was up till 2 a.m. last night editing my video as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, I will see you later. Big over and out. Love you lots. Up the Cods. Up the League One.
Bye.